demands justice. Police arrest 5 suspects involved in killing of SP Bako Ambashim. Supreme Court ruling sparks reactions. INEC to conduct by-elections for vacant positions. Court lifts prescription ban on IPOB. Military prevents 1.2 billion naira crude theft. In other foreign scene, hundreds of officers search for U.S. Army reservists who killed 18 people. I am Ifechukwu Moyeli with the news. Damian Okoligwe, the boyfriend of the late Uniport female student Justina Itwene, who is suspected of attempting to use her for ritual purposes, has denied having a hand in her death. Mr. Okoligwe, who is a 400-level petrochemical engineering student at Uniport, made the denial while he was being paraded at the police headquarters in Port Harcourt yesterday. He spoke to journalists. Meanwhile, the family of the late Justina Itwene is calling for justice in the matter. Osaz Owaji Itwene, the elder brother to the late Justina, says the family is devastated by the news of her death. Speaking to newsmen at the police headquarters yesterday, Osaz, who is also a 500-level chemical engineering student at the University of Port Harcourt, said his late sister just turned 21.
On one case, we got the call from someone that said a dead body has been reported to Uzoba police station, that we should go to the station. So I reported to the IPO at Minokoro police station. So all of us went to the Uzoba police station and they met the officer there. The officer confirmed, I need justice. The guy that did it should pay for it. And everybody that was involved, because definitely he was not the only one that was involved in the whole thing. So justice is what we need.
The only daughter of the family, so it's a hard one.
Also, some residents of Port Harcourt joined in calling for justice.
That is evil. So that kind of person not supposed to be among us in our society.
For young girls, I will advise them to mellow down, to be under their parents. Anything they want, they should ask their parents.
Parents have to take care of their children, especially the female ones.
Please, supposed to be a lesson to other girls for them to concentrate and focus for the benefit of their family.
The country where we dey don't dey corrupt, so nobody to blame. The girl don't fall victim of circumstances. Girl we don't reach 300 levels. She sad or she know what is good and bad.
In the meantime, the management of the University of Port Harcourt says it will not rest until justice is done in the matter. The Dean of Student Affairs at Uniport, Chima Wokocha, tells correspondent Martha Okerinkem that the school is embarrassed by the act.
That is evil.
I want to assure you that the university will not try to stop the process of law, and the university is also worried about its image with this kind of incidents. And the Vice Chancellor insisted that justice must be done because there is no student here who has a right to kill or get physical with anybody. It's wrong. The punishment for fighting or getting physical in university is outright expulsion. And in the university also, through the Vice Chancellor, has told the police to do everything possible to unravel the mystery surrounding in the death of this very promising young lady.
The Uniport Dean of Student Affairs also called on parents to always advise their wards and children against the urge for quick wealth.
They should caution their wards. This thing about quick wealth, this thing about relationships, it didn't used to be like that in those days. People used to be serious about what they were doing. You see a girl of 19, 20 and she has strings of lovers. I mean, to what achievement, what benefit, what gain? And so I implore parents and guidance to try and caution their wards and control and monitor their wards. And if they see their wards doing things that ought to, they should report immediately to the university authority if they're Uniport or to the police so that these kind of things can be curbed.
In the same vein, a Uniport lecturer, Glory Amadi, has urged parents and the society to instill morals in their children and young ones for the good of the society. His comments follow suspicions that the male Uniport student had killed his girlfriend for money rituals. Speaking on Nigeria Info FM's Morning Crossfire, Professor Amadi of the Department of Educational Psychology, Guidance and Counseling, Uniport, says good parenting is needed to revitalize the value system of the society.
The society has to know what we are pursuing. What matters most to us? Is it to live good life, to have good relationship built on the spirit of excellence, to honesty, integrity? Are we building a society that is only focused on the amount of money you command? When we address such important issue, this is a foundational issue. Then the society will have direction. People will know that at a certain age you are not expected to do certain things because the society does not expect it.
Professor Amadi also advised the youth to shun the get-rich-quick syndrome and focus on developing knowledge and skills.
To young people generally, I'll tell them to be goal-directed. If you know what you are pursuing in life at a particular stage in life, pursue it with all vigor and remain focused. If you are studying, you are for study. If people want to decide to engage you, you resist them and focus on your study. That's one. Two, and young people should know what they are going for at a particular time. Money will never cease to be. Money will never finish.
Earlier, our correspondent who visited the suspected killer's apartment off NTA Road in Port Harcourt observed some policemen were stationed around his house. Our correspondent also noted the uneasy calm in the area. Some of the residents there declined to speak to our correspondent. It was also gathered that the suspect, Damien, recently moved into the building, which was opened last weekend. Some students say the suspect lived in Omagwa before relocating to his new apartment. A security man in the area spoke to our correspondent on this.
Yes, I was on duty. I don't hear even just like someone scream, nothing like that. But we do patrol reach that area. Only this morning I hear that thing. It was last week they opened the house. Last week Saturday. I don't know them in person. I only know the house. When they opened the house, we all went there for celebration. But the particular person, I didn't know him one-on-one. I do responsible for guiding Road 18, Road 19. That is behind the building. This particular estate get their own community boys that is guiding them, not we.
Meanwhile, the police yesterday paraded the suspect Damian Okoligwe over the alleged killing of his girlfriend, Justina Itwene, at his residence along the NTA Road in Port Harcourt. The River State Commissioner of Police, Nwuye Meka, said policemen responded to a distress call by a neighbor on the crime. CP Emeka said the dismembered body of the late Justina has been deposited in the mortuary.
On Wednesday, 25th of October 2023, operatives of Ozuba Division received a complaint from a good Samaritan and a neighbor. Came to report that he went to his house where one Damien Okoligwe, a fellow tenant, and perceived a very bad odor and immediately rushed to the police station where the DPO led detective to the scene. On arrival, the door was forcefully opened and the Ghana must go bag containing a lifeless body was recovered. And the boyfriend of the victim, also an occupant of the house, the prime suspect, was arrested for an inquiry.
The police commissioner also expressed suspicion that the suspect's intent is for ritual.
We suspect the intent was for ritual because when you begin to dismember some particular parts of a woman, especially you call your girlfriend, we always know what it ends up to be. However, investigation is still on a high gear and we'll keep you communicated on the progress of the investigation. I also want to repeat that curbing crime in our society is a collective job. I am calling on the residents of the states to be open and supportive of security operatives in fighting crime and criminality.
In a related development, the Commissioner of Police, Nwuye Meka, also paraded One Happiness and Eyinaya Ihukumere, also known as Dr. Haji, for child trafficking in Iguruta community, Ikwere local government area.
Following a case of abduction reported on 9th of September by one Ijoma James in Awalama, Umokoro in Port Harcourt, police detective from Special Area Division under Intelligence, one Ifesinachi Opara, was arrested, which also led to the arrest of one Happiness Enyinaya Ihukumere, aka Dr. Haji, to whom he sold one of the children. Further investigation led to the recovery of 3 more children trafficked by Dr. Haji from different locations of the country, 3 from Benue State.
Correspondent Emekotoka reports that the River State CP says a combined surveillance team in Obirikom, Oba, Ebema, and Ndoni local government area arrested 5 suspected cult members involved in the killing of late SP Bako Ambashim.
On 25th of October, a combined surveillance team was on a routine surveillance patrol at the OBB gas plant Obirikom on Elga. 5 suspects are presumed to have a hand in the death of the late DPO of Ahoda, SP Bako Ambashim. They were brought to the area command Omok with the following items: 2 locally made guns, 3 live cartridges, and 1 wrist charm.
In the meantime, the PDP Elders Forum of Ahoda East Local Government Area in River State have condemned the killing of the DPO Ahoda Division, late SP Bako Ambashim. A statement signed by the chairman of the PDP Elders Forum, His Royal Highness Eze Pastor Christian Idozu, and the General Secretary Chief Honorable SP Most Evangelist Tobias Seji, described the late Ambashim as a gallant police officer who in the few months of his stay in their area brought the much needed peace. The statement said the forum held an extraordinary meeting today to discuss the issue of insecurity and the death of late SP Bako Ambashim. The PDP Elders Forum of Ahoda East also condoled with the government of River State for the embarrassment caused by the unwarranted killing of the DPO and the Inspector General Police and the officers and men of the Nigerian police force. The statement also thanked Governor Fubara for the swift actions taken so far and urged the government and the security agencies to do all that is necessary to ensure total peace in the state. Away from that, President Bola Tinubu has appealed to Nigerians to have a positive outlook about the country. He made the request while reacting to the ruling of the Supreme Court, which affirmed his victory in the 2023 presidential election yesterday.
The judgment of the Supreme Court put a stop to shenanigans, put a stop to innuendos, put a stop to lies or trial in the media and public place. The court has demonstrated indivisible commitment to rule of law and humanity, and their commitment to do justice for all Nigerians, regardless of ethnic, religious, or any other biases. So we use the strength of our diversity to build a stronger and prosperous Nigeria.
In the meantime, former President Muhammadu Buhari said the ruling of the Supreme Court has reaffirmed the will of the majority of Nigerians against the determined will of a hard-fighting minority. Also, the FCT Minister Nyesom Wike congratulated the president on his victory, saying the ruling has put an end to the conflict on whether a candidate must win 25% of votes separately in the FCT to become president. On their part, some Port Harcourt residents say the Supreme Court judgment will serve as a point of reference for evaluating the credibility of those vying for public office in the future.
So whatever that has happened now is entering into history. This will give judgments now, say whether certificate or not certificate. No, that in the future, it does start. It will be unstoppable if they will not stop it now.
We already know that there is nothing that will come out of the judgment. Secondly, is to give him his turn. Let him rule as he say his turn.
But what do you expect from the Nigerian judiciary now? All the evidence that the court say, see him go. No, I'm making go now.
Meanwhile, the PDP says the Supreme Court verdict is disappointing.
Nigeria Info. Right back.
Meanwhile, the PDP says the Supreme Court verdict is disappointing. In a statement, the spokesperson for the PDP, Debo Ologunagba, said the party and the majority of Nigerians are concerned with the reasoning of the Supreme Court, which he said is against the Constitution, the Electoral Act 2022, and the guideline and regulation issued by INEC under which the election was conducted. Also, the chairman of the Labour Party, Julius Abure, says the judiciary has failed to defend the people's voices, speaking in a press briefing after yesterday's ruling. Mr. Abure said the Labour Party will not fail to play the role of opposition. Still to come, military prevents 1.2 billion naira crude theft. Stay with us.
The details,
the stories,
with the updates.
Your number one station for
Electoral Commission INEC says it will conduct 11 by-elections in relation to the 2023 elections. INEC Chairman Mahmoud Yakubu said this yesterday during a consultative meeting with the media in Abuja. Professor Yakubu explained that the vacancies arose from the death and resignation of some of the elected officials for political appointment. He also said the Commission is worried over the rising water levels and insecurity during the November off-cycle election. A group concerned elites of River State has condemned a call by an Islamic cleric, Sheikh Gumi, on President Bola Tinubu to remove the former River State Governor Nyesom Wike as the FCT minister. Convener of Concerned Elites of River State, Tony Okocha, while speaking on behalf of the group at a media briefing in Abuja, described the comment by Gumi as treasonable and capable of causing disunity among Nigerians. Mr. Okocha said that the president is at liberty to appoint any Nigerian to any office without consideration for tribe or religion. He said the meeting between the Minister of FCT, Nyesom Wike, and the Israeli ambassador, Michael Freeman, was centered on developmental issues bordering on agriculture, technology, and development security, among other issues, and has nothing to do with the war going on between Israel and Palestine.
On 25th of October, a combined surveillance team was on a routine surveillance patrol at OBB Gas.
That the President of the Federal Republic of Nigeria is at liberty to appoint any Nigerian to any office without consideration for tribe or religion. 2. The His Excellency Chief Nyesom Wike, the Minister of the Federal Capital Territory, today is fit and proper to be appointed as Minister, and having not been found guilty of any infraction whatsoever, but rather works in tandem with the mission assigned to him within the ambits of the law and the Constitution of the Federal Republic of Nigeria, and the appointer himself, Mr. President, remains unshakable. Any call for his sack is therefore maliciously orchestrated and so cannot hold waters.
The convener of Concerned Elite of River State, Tony Okocha, also dismissed allegations that the FCT minister Nyesom Wike is planning to demolish the National Mosque, Abuja. He emphasized that some of the issues arising on the visit of the Israel ambassador to the FCT minister are falsehood perpetrated by those who do not mean well for the Federal Capital Territory. He said FCT Minister Nyesom Wike will never have any bias against Northern community, noting that as the Minister of Education, he championed the Almajiri child right. In business, the Defense Headquarters says troops intercepted stolen crude worth 1.2 billion naira in the last 2 weeks. The Director of Defense Media Operations, Major General Edward Buba, said this while briefing journalists on the activities of the military in the past 2 weeks yesterday in Abuja. In entertainment, gospel singer Mercy Chinwo and her husband, Pastor Blessed, have reportedly welcomed a baby boy. The gospel singer revealed this as she released a new single titled You Do This One. A photo of Mercy cradling her baby bump is the cover art for the new single. In sports, Newcastle boss Eddie Howe says there is a high chance that Sandro Tonali can play against Wolves on Saturday despite receiving a 10-month ban from football. The 23-year-old Tonali was banned by the Italian Football Federation on Thursday for breaching betting rules. The ban is yet to be approved by governing bodies UEFA and FIFA.
And now, we'll bring you news from around the world.
A manhunt is being carried out in a U.S. state, Maine, for a U.S. Army reservist who is suspected of killing 18 people and injuring 13 others in a mass shooting. Hundreds of police officers and FBI agents are searching for Robert Card on land, air, and water, who is said to be armed and dangerous. Schools and businesses have closed and people have taken shelter very far away from the scenes of Wednesday's shooting in Lewiston.
This is the news on 92.3 Nigeria Info.
Now that's a wrap on the news this afternoon, but before we go, let's have a look at the major stories. The suspected killer boyfriend of a Uniport female student has denied killing her. The family of the killed Uniport female student is demanding justice. The police have arrested 5 suspects involved in killing of SP Bako Ambashim. The military said it prevented 1.2 billion naira crude oil theft in 2 weeks. On the foreign scene, hundreds of officers are searching for U.S. Army reservists who killed 18 people. The news was edited by Constance Mega. You can see pictures and watch videos of news stories when you like us on Facebook and follow us on X at NigeriaInfoPH. On Instagram, it's at NigeriaInfoFM_PH. For any eyewitness report and breaking news, text and send your WhatsApp pictures and videos to our news desk line on 0808-721-7215. Peace is a path to the prosperity of a nation. Let peace reign. I am Ifechukwu Moyeli. Many thanks for listening.